Hey y'all, Bay here bringing you Captain Tsubasa Dream Team, and today I would like to do the character evaluation as always. And since I'm recording this video a bit late than usual, I usually do this type of evaluation for the new character right after the character release. But since it's a bit late, I would like to instead do a comparison between the three super strong forwards, which are Santana, Fest Schneider, and this Fest Hyuga. Now that all three characters as a Fest came per each type, I would like to do a comparison together with the evaluation. So here I go. So first comes is Santana, Fest Santana. So his stats, well, I'm gonna be doing mainly looking at the shooting power because they're forward, okay? All these three characters are really alike. They're like at the same level, basically for everything. But in terms of shot, they're around the same. But to be exact, Schneider is a bit stronger than the two, but it's really slight, so it's like the same. We could say it's the same, okay? So Santana, his shooting power after including the power from physical becomes 12,104. And when you add the type link 10%, it'll be 13,314, as in the yellow cell on the right, on top, okay? And if you look at all the Santana's strong shots that exist, the strongest shot Santana has is rolling arrow, which you can get from the 2018 Santana, the blue Santana, and that has 475 when it's at level max. And when you add that onto the stats, the actual shooting power of this rolling arrow will become 63,242, as in the yellow cell on the bottom. Okay, and then the second tier shot that he has will be Skywing shot that this Santana has, or like Golden Flying Drive shot, which are the same, which is 465. But Golden, what? I forgot the name, but Golden Flying Drive shot, it doesn't lose momentum from distance, so it has its advantage, but it's 465. And when you add that, it becomes 61,910. Okay? So this is Santana. So he's super strong, as you guys know. And also, on the bottom, it says in Japanese, so I'll just explain verbally. But for Santana, you're able to, well, it depends. If you have these, you have to have these characters, of course. But by using Masao, the recent normal gacha Masao and Alberto from 2018, this Santana could be boosted by 40% maximum. Masao gives 15% boost for forward and AM, so he's forward, so he gets that. And Alberto, he boosts 15% to skill type plus South American characters, so he gets that. And then another 10% boost for skill type, that gives 40%. That's Santana. Well, I didn't include the team skill on the stats, okay? And next comes Schneider. So this Schneider has 12,112 shooting power after including a physical power. Okay, that's slightly better than Santana, but it's like the same. It's really close. And when you add the type link toughness 10%, it becomes 13,323, which is in the yellow cell on the top. All right. And if you look at all the Schneider shots that he has the strongest shot he has is Neo Fire, which is on this Schneider, is maximum at 475. And when you add that on the shooting stats, it becomes the actual shooting power of this Neo Fire becomes 63,284, which is again slightly stronger than Santana, but it's only like 40 difference. So that's like nothing. Okay, they're like the same. And then the second tier shot, there actually is shots like Fire Tiger Twin, which is 475, but it's the same 475, so it doesn't make sense. So I brought Fire Shot 450. So when you add that, his actual shooting power will become 59,954. So it's a bit weaker than the second tier shot for Santana, but the thing is, Neo Fire Shot is a ground shot. and fire shot as well. Whereas this Santana's rolling arrow is not a ground shot. It's like a what? I forgot which, but it's low or high ball. So in terms of how easy Neofire could be shot or fire shot could be shot, it's both are good. Both have their own advantage, I would say. Yeah. So I think these two are really similar, and they are as I can't say which is stronger. I think they're the same. Yeah, they have their own strength, and in terms of the stats, it's like really really similar. So yeah, they both are good characters. And lastly comes the new Fest Hyuga. Is he good? Is he as good, or is he better? Let's look into it. So after his shooting stats without considering the passive, it's 12,084. So it's slightly lower than Schneider and Santana, but it's like the same as I said in the past. So he's as good. And when you add the nationality link, Japan, it becomes 13,292, which is again around the same as the last two characters. But because it's different a bit in terms of passive, it's nationality link rather than type link. So it's a bit harder for people to create to get the full 10% to this Hyuga, because it's not easy to put everyone Japanese compared to everyone toughness or everyone skill, because it's been a long while since the trend was type, right? So people were raising characters in one type so that you could be stronger to play against other people. But recently, finally, nationality type of team skill came. So it's not we didn't have enough time to, I think, raise these Japanese characters yet. So it's a bit difficult, more difficult compared to the other two to get full 10%. So I decided to do 7% version on the very right, where it says in the yellow cell 12,929. This is when Hyuga gets 7% passive. Yeah, because I think many people will have to put characters like Mueller, 2018 Mueller, or like Fest Rival, or like Dream Collection Robson still, even though you know that Hyuga will get less passive. I think even Hyuga's passive will go down. This is still stronger as a team, rather than putting like not raised like Ishizaki or like I don't know who. But yeah, you have, yeah, it's, I think this is more realistic. So that's why I decided to do 7. And when it's 7, it's 12,929, which makes him look a bit worse than the other two by like 400. Yeah. But the thing is, I found out after I was looking into these characters that this Hyuga has better shooting skills. He has now this, I forgot how it's called in English, but the new Raiju shot, which is a volley, which is right here on the bottom in kanji. It says 490, that's the new shot, right? And because this shot is strong, it's 490 at max. If you add this to the stats, when he gets 10%, his actual shooting stats will become 65,000. 65, that's like 2,000 above the 2, right? But then, like I said, I think it's difficult for most of you to get 10%, so let's look at it at 7%. It still gives 63,000, guys. 63,000. That's like the same for the first tier shots for both Santana and Schneider, or it's even a bit better. So it means even if this goes down to 6, I think this Hyuga is still at the same level as Schneider and Santana. Yeah, that I think could be said. But this is volley. Let's look at the second tier shot that Hyuga has. That is Raiju, and his second tier shot is like the other two's first tier. So this guy, his skill is really strong. So that boosts this Hyuga up to the level of Schneider and Santana. Yeah. So even with his second tier shot, he still gets 61,000 at like 107% boost. I mean passive boost on the very right, bottom right corner. So that brings this Hyuga exactly at the same level with the other two. So I think, although maybe some people thought this Hyuga is a bit hard to handle because of the nationality link, but you don't have to be so depressed, because even after putting Mueller or Riverwool or Robson and decreasing the passive to 7% or 6%, you are still at the same level. You are. if you are able to do 10, then you are better than Schneider and Santana. But when you do that as a whole, if you look at it as a whole, as a team as a whole, it's going to be a bit weaker, I think, because you have to get rid of Mueller or Rivero and stuff like that. So I don't think that's a wise idea. So just don't be so don't focus too much on the passive, trying to boost Hyuga as much as possible. Just take it easy. Just you don't have to have 10%. It's okay if it's 7 or 6. You still get, you'll still end up being at the same level as Fest Schneider, Fest Santana. So that's what I was able to found. And as for the team skill, it's in Japanese on the very bottom, but he could go up to 40 if you have 2018 Misugi and 2018 Misaki, and then normal 10% boost for agility. But then this is a bit difficult compared to the other two, because these Misugi and Misaki, if your agility in Japanese, it's okay, you get 15, but if not, you get 5 only. Unlike when I said with Masao and Alberto, they were able to give 15% each, and then for those who aren't those types or positions, you still get 10, right? So you get minimum 30%, but for this team skills, you get minimum 20. So yeah, this is the obstacle that you have. So I think the realistic one team skill will be one of the two, Misugi or Misaki, and then use someone like 2018 Santana, who could boost South American characters by 15%, or if not, just normal 10%. I think that's the best. So with this Hyuga, 35% boost is, I think, realistic. Yeah. I forgot to mention about Schneider's team skill. Yeah, so Schneider's team skill could also go up to 40% using Kazuo, Chester, and normal 10. But then again, like I said, for Hyuga, it's not realistic to use Chester, because when you do that, if you look at the team as a whole, it's really hard to construct your team with red type European characters. You're not going to be able to, I think, put every position that type and nationality. So I think for Schneider, again, realistic best team skill mix would be 35%. Kazuo, if you have one, and then normal 10-10. Yeah. Or if you have Natureza 2018, that would be better. Yeah. So if you look at all that, right, these three characters are really alike. They're at the same level, I would say. So don't have to, for those who got Hyuga and who's really thinking how to get the best boost, you don't have to, I think, stick to that too much. It's okay to have 7%, I think. You still get, you'll still be as strong as Schneider and Santana when you blend the shot power. So yeah, that's my conclusion. So I hope you liked the video. Please do subscribe and oh, sorry, before I finish up this video, I have another thing. So for those who got this Fest Hyuga and was using 2018 Toughness Hyuga, you are probably thinking of giving the skill from the 2018 to the Fest Hyuga, right? But then if you look at the 2018 Hyuga, his stats itself is, if you look at the shot, right, it's only 11,000. It's strong, but if you compare that to Fest Hyuga, it's a bit weak. That's true. But this guy's passive is really powerful. Yeah. So at the end, if his stamina is super low, he gets 30% boost on the skill power, and that becomes like it gives very strong. The skill of his shot will become super strong, as it says in the bottom. So, but the thing is, right, Raiju, if you put Raiju to this Brave Tiger Hyuga, it's supposed to be, if you get 30%, it's gonna be, this Raiju will be super strong. But the thing is, Raiju takes up so much stamina that you can't activate his passive full of his passive, because by the time your stamina is low enough to get 30% passive, you won't be able to shoot Raiju even when full power is on. Yeah, that's the thing. So to look at it realistically, I made skill power at I took 20% boost instead of 30 and blend that to the Raiju shot 99 and Brave Tiger 99. which is on the bottom, where it says Raiju is Raiju 475, and on the bottom B, where it says B Japanese, it says it's Brave Tiger at 465 at max. And when you do 20% boost on top of this, Raiju becomes 570 and Brave Tiger becomes 558. Well, actually for Brave Tiger you can get 30%. So when you do that, it's gonna be as strong or a bit stronger than Raiju. So I forgot which was correct, but it's around the same as Raiju, 20%. So yeah. Anyways, so when that happens, even though this 2018 Hyuga's actual stats is 11,000, it's not as strong as Fresh Hyuga. If you do this, if you take passive into account, and if you blend the 20% passive Raiju and Brave Tiger, it becomes Raiju becomes 63,000 and Brave Tiger becomes 61,800. So these are like around the same as Fest Hyuga, Schneider, and Fest Santana. First tier and second tier, right? So this Hyuga is really hard to use. At the beginning, when his stamina is full, he doesn't get this. He only gets like 11,000 times 475. That's it. But then, as his stamina goes low, like at the second half of the match, he will be as strong as Fest Hyuga or Fest Schneider, Fest whoever. Yeah. So please be careful. When you got, for those who got Fest Hyuga and who were using 2018 Hyuga, be careful. Think carefully, okay? Is it really the best idea to what you should do? Is it? You have to really think carefully. Yeah, be careful. So it really depends on what kind of character you have. Can you put 107% to the Fest Hyuga using Agility Japanese? Can you put 10%? Do you have all the team skills? Such stuff. You have to think about that because in addition, this 2018 Hyuga, in terms of team skills, he could go up to 45% using 2018 Hyuga, 2018 Ishizaki, and Kazuo. You could get 15% per each team skill slot. That will bring this Hyuga 45% boost for team skill. So if you have to think about all these. And so before you give the 2018 skill to Fest Hyuga, for those who are thinking to do that, think carefully, okay? That might not be your best option. Yeah. So I hope. Sorry, I got messed up in the latter half of the video. But I forgot to mention about this 2018 Hyuga comparison against the Fest Hyuga. So they're all good. They're at the top tier in the whole game, for sure. But then it really depends on what else you have, and yeah, don't simply blend the 2018 Hyuga to the Fest Hyuga just because you got it. Think carefully, look at what you have other than this Hyuga, what kind of team skills, how can you bring your team up when you use the Fest Hyuga or when you use 2018 Hyuga. Yeah, think about all that and then decide, okay? I hope you liked the video. Please do subscribe for those who haven't yet. And I also started Twitch, so please, it's in the description section. So please visit my Twitch channel and also subscribe on that. And I'll be doing lots of these analytical videos as well as online gacha, everything. So please do subscribe and stay tuned for my future video. Thanks for watching and bye.